was taking a bath, long about a Saturday night. Yeah, rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was all right. Well, I stepped out the tub and put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And then a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splash, reeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, rocking and a rolling. Yeah, bing bang, I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room rug. Yeah, flip flop, they was doing the bop. All the teens had the dancing bug. There was a lollipop with a Peggy Sue. Good to golly, Miss Molly was even there too. Well, a splish splash, I forgot about the bath. I went and put my dancing shoes on. Yeah, I was a rolling and a strolling, feeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, splishing and a splashing. Yeah. Moving with the groove, with the splish, splash, yeah, splishing and a splashing. One time I was splishing and a splashing, woo-wee. I was moving and a grooving, yeah, I was splishing and a splashing.
You should be sorry. You're the one who left. Listen, I'm gonna be late for work. Bye.
On the other side of the street I knew stood a girl that looked like you. I guess that's deja vu, but I thought this can't be true, cause you moved to West LA or New York or Santa Fe or wherever to get away from me. Oh, but that one night was more than just right. I didn't leave you, cause I was all through. Oh, I was overwhelmed and frankly scared as hell, because I really fell for you. Oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive-by. Just a shy guy looking for a two-fly. Hefty thing a whole night. I love when you move me. Everything is groovy. They don't like it, sue me. The way you do me. Oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive-by. On the upside to a downward spiral, my love for you went viral, and I loved you every mile you drove away. But now here you are again, so let's skip to how you've been and get down to the more than friends at last. Oh, but that one night is still the highlight. I didn't need you until I came to, and I was overwhelmed and frankly scared as hell, because I really fell for you. Oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive-by. Just a shy guy looking for a two-fly. Hefty thing a whole night. I love when you move me. Everything is groovy. They don't like it, sue me. The way you do me. Oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive-by. Please believe that when I leave, there's nothing up my sleeve but love for you and a little time to get my head together too. On the other side of the street I knew stood a girl that looked like you. I guess that's deja vu, but I thought this can't be true, cause oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive-by. for love's sake, each mistake, oh, you forgave. And soon both of us learned to trust, not run away. There was no time to play. We build it up and build it up and build it up, and now it's solid. Solid as a rock. That's what this love is. That's what we've got. Oh. Solid. Solid as a rock. And nothing's changed it. The thrill is still hot, 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 hot. Oh, you didn't turn away when the sky went gray. Somehow we managed. We had to stick together. You didn't bat an eye when I made you cry. We knew down the line we would make it better. And for love's sake, each mistake, oh, you forgave. And soon both of us learned to trust, not run away. There was no time to play. We build it up and build it up and build it up, and now it's solid. Solid as a rock. And nothing's changed it. The thrill is still hot, 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 hot. Oh, knock, knock on wood. You understood. Love was so new. We did what we had to. And with that feeling, we were willing to take a chance. So against all odds, we made a start. We got serious. This one turned to dust. We build it up and build it up and build it up, and now it's solid. Solid as a rock. That's what this love is. Oh, that's what we've got. Oh. asking where we're going next. All we're chasing is the sunset. Got my mind on you. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter, no. If there's a moment when it's perfect, we'll carve our names as the sun goes down. Hey, as the sun goes down. Hey, as the sun goes down. As the sun goes down. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter, no. Nothing's ever what we expect, but they keep asking where we're going next. All we're chasing is the sunset. Got my mind on you. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter, no. If there's a moment when it's perfect, we'll carve our names as the sun goes down. Hey, as the sun goes down. Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after we finished the individuals of the young riders.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the FEI Dressage European Championships for under 25 and young riders. This morning we saw 3 riders being crowned their medals in the young rider individual, and now this afternoon we move on to the under 25 Grand Prix individual.
From Germany at the position E.
At E, we have Katrina Wurst for Germany. At H, we have France's Raphael Saleh. At C, we have Austria's Elisabeth Maxruhr. At M, Denmark's Hans Christian Mathiesen. And at B, the Netherlands' Patricia Wolters.
In about 2 minutes, we will see.
So our first competitor is due in at 24 minutes past. Out in the lead at the moment, it is the Netherlands' Martin Luton and Johnny with a combination best score of 72.769%. Annabella Pidgley and Gio are currently in second with 70.18. Malena, Sofia Souza and Roxander with a personal best score of 70.103 are currently in the bronze medal position. But still, lots to come today.
The first combination for today is
we
here,
have
the
17 competitors coming forward
Richfield
today.
Silviano. We welcome
And getting us underway, our first to go in this under 25 Grand Prix, it is Hedda Thunberg. She is riding Diva, 18-year-old Swedish warm blood mare by Richfield. This combination competed in the under 25 Grand Prix last year, finished 26th in the Grand Prix. Their last time out was in Tolbert in April. They scored 64.01 for 11th place. So remember, this competition isn't just about the 3 medalists. It's also about qualifying through to the freestyle, which will be tomorrow. This combination finished 29th in the Inter 2 with a score of 66.618%. Nice entry in canter. Didn't quite show the immobility there in the halt, but a beautiful move off in the trot. Oh. A little spook there in the corner. Well recovered. We had a lot of problems this morning in this arena from the young riders. Some even had to retire. And some really didn't get the results that they wanted because of tension. So it'll be really interesting to see how these under 25 horses cope. Really clear in the bend. Still carrying a little bit of tension with this corner. So, as you can see, the under 25 Grand Prix is slightly different to that of the senior Grand Prix. Keeping good rhythm through the Piaf Passage. Could just take a little bit more weight and sit more behind. But very clear in the rhythm and good transitions. Good transitions there in the medium. Some nice steps. lost a little bit of the rhythm in the passage going into the Piaffe, much clearer out. Just a little bit tight there in the collective walk. I'd like to see a bit more relaxation. Yeah, super steps there in the extension. Keep the jump. Keep it coming, yeah. So started nicely. It was beautifully centered, really well ridden. Just need to keep the jump the whole way through. Lovely 2 time changes, really nicely on the aids. Could maybe be a little more uphill for an extra mark. Still 7s across the board. And back into the half pass there. It's again super positioning, really clear in the bend. Just needed to have a clearer jump there. Oh, keep going. Yeah. Oh, I thought that they were going to drop back to walk then. Hedda did a really good job of just about keeping the canter, but significant loss of rhythm through the pirouettes. Lovely and straight here through the 1 time changes. Yeah, gorgeous. And into the final Piaffe. Keep the rhythm. A lovely test from Hedda Thunberg and Diva.
Hedda Thunberg and Diva, the first.
A really lovely test. Some beautiful riding from Hedda. Started off a little bit tense down that top end of the arena, but she really gave this mare confidence. Could have had a little bit more engagement in the Piaffe Passage today, but gorgeous through the lines of changes. 66.897%, and that puts them into 8th place.
66.154 at C, 67.05951 at M, and 66.667 at P. It's a total score 66.897 for this combination from Sweden. In preparation, the next combination, 3 minutes to go for our Spanish rider.
Next up, a rider from Spain. It is Silvia Hernando Morant, and she is riding Sir Mark.
Now here's the Spanish bred stallion Sir Mark by Sandro
This is an
Mark
18-year-old
Silvia Hernando Morant.
Spanish stallion
Spain.
by Sandro Mark. It's this pair's first European Championships. Their last time out was back in April. They scored a 62.906% there for third place. Silvia also rides a few young horses. She's got a couple of nice 5-year-olds that she rides at international level. They finished 35th in the Inter 2 with a score of 63.765%. A nice start there in the extended trot. Again, another horse that didn't quite have the immobility, was resting a left hind there in the first halt. Yeah, pretty nice through the zigzag. Could just be a little more still to the contact, but really clear in the bend each way. Needed a little bit more activity there in the piaffe. Good there in the medium. Yeah, some nice steps. Oh, could have been smoother there, a bit more fluent into the transition of passage. I'll keep the activity. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't quite establish the passage before they came into the piaffe. Needed much more activity coming into the piaffe to be able to maintain it. Really clear walk there, good in the rhythm. Looks fairly nice in the stretch. It's hard to see from this angle what's happening with the mouth. Yeah, slightly busy mouth here in the collected walk. Nice in the frame though, needs to watch the rhythm. good up to canter. Nice. Yeah, taking risk through the extended canter. Keep the rhythm. Oh, okay. Yeah, much better there in the second half. Span around a little bit too quick in the first half of the pirouette. Got much more control in the second half. Clean, clear, 2 time changes. A little bit of swinging there, but they were all very clear. Now into this next canter pirouette. Much better control. Yeah, she's choosing to ride it a little bit bigger. Yeah, much better. It was still a little bit too slow, but she kept much more control through that. Yeah, straighter here in the ones. Well ridden. Keep the activity. And there we have it for Silvia, Hernando, Morant and Sir Mark for Spain. It's her first European Championships. Some nice work. A very willing horse.
Thank you.
Today just needed a bit more activity through the Piaf Passage. It is a 61.846%, and that puts Silvia into 18th place at the moment. A really elegant horse. Just today, a few problems with the contact. But he was really obedient, nicely on the aids. So into 18th for Silvia.
And here's Alive and Kicking, Westphalian mare by All at
Next
Once.
up,
And
we have
we welcome representing Germany, Rose
representing
Oatley.
Germany, Rose Oatley, and she is riding Alive and Kicking, a 12-year-old Westphalian mare by All at Once. They were the winners of the Inter 2 with 72.118%. It was very, very close between the top 3 and the Inter 2. Rose has picked up many, many medals through her championships. Back to 2019 when she started in ponies, through juniors. She's always brought home a team medal, mostly gold. Brought home several individual gold medals as well. It's her first year at under 25. A very new partnership. This mare previously ridden by Charlotte Desjardins up until a few months ago when Rose took the ride and went straight out to Mannheim. That was in May. They won the Inter 2 there with 74.118. Finished third in the Grand Prix with 70.3. That's a good start for Rose and Audrey, as she's known at home. Really lovely crossing through the half passes. Beautifully uphill and fluent. Lovely here in the rhythm and the passage. Very nice indeed in the Piaffe. Just needs to watch the tempo. Make sure it's not a little bit quick. Lovely, super in the frame. Such a lovely light-footed mare. What a brilliant trot tour for this pair. .308, as I said, their personal best. This is only their second international ever together. They've only been together for a matter of months and already looking like such a strong partnership. Good activity in the walk. Yeah, taking good risk in the extended canter. Super nice, really lovely and uphill. Keep the jump, especially there towards the end. Nice preparation. Keep the activity. Yeah, really well centered. Just needed to have a little bit more balance, especially on the way out. Lovely and straight. Beautifully uphill. Gorgeous two-time changes. 4 8s and a 7.5. Yeah, better this way. Kept the jump. Yeah, lovely control. Really well centered yet again. Well, they don't get much straighter than that, do they? Gorgeous line of one-time changes. Just a little bit of balance there in the trot transition. Nice. What a test from Rose Oatley, and alive and kicking for Germany.
Rose
Absolutely
Oatley,
stunning, and she's delighted with that. What a partnership. They've only been together for a few months. What a promising future this combination have ahead of them. Such a stunning mare, beautifully trained. 74.897%. And the combination that now sit in gold medal position. 74.897. That is going to be a tough score to beat. A beautiful test. Beautifully ridden. Such a harmonious picture. Really gorgeous through the lines of tempi changes. I mean, gorgeous through the whole test, let's be honest. Really beautiful in the Piaffe Passage. And if that's what they can achieve in a few months, what are they going to be like in a year's time? Moving on now, though, to a combination for Denmark. It is Frederik Gram Jacobsen and RGS Finest Allegra. This is an 11-year-old Oldenburg mare by Finest. A combination that finished in 7th place in the Inter 2 with a personal best score of 70.735%. This combination competed in the Young Rider section back in 2024 of the European Championships. Picked up a bronze medal in the freestyle. Has also won many a medal in the teams over the years. Started back in 2018 on ponies. Last time out riding this test, they had a 1 second, sorry, she's got a couple of horses. So they had a 7th place. So no, a 4th place, 66.282%. So she rides not only this horse, but also Raivang Zafina in under 25 Grand Prix as well. What a lucky position to be in with 2 top horses. And it's a nice start for this gorgeous mare. Wonderfully light-footed. Lovely reach here in the half passes. Super fluent. Gorgeous crossing. Really nice bend. Yeah, beautifully ridden. A little bit of swaying there in the Piaffe. You could see she just gets a little bit wide behind. Ah, that's a shame. Really nice there in the medium trot, and then that little break in the middle. really super in the passage. Just needs a little bit more engagement to really be able to sit in the piaffe for the bigger marks. Still, it's looking like it still could be a personal best. A personal best at the moment, 68.889. Really nice through this walk. Mare has a beautiful big walk. Probably one of the best extended walks we've seen all day, actually. Really clear over track. Great rhythm. Keep control of the porters. Nice. Oh no. Just changed coming out of the canter pirouette. It was well centered though, and she kept the jump nicely. Has just pulled her score down quite significantly. The pirouettes are both double coefficients. Really good there though in the twos. Super elastic, nice and straight. Good here in the half pass. Now get her sitting, keep the bend. Yeah, nice. Yes, well ridden. Yeah, she could have ridden it a little bit smaller, but I don't blame her for keeping it a little on the larger side and keeping more control. Super ones. Beautifully straight. Nicely done. And there we have it for Fredrik Graham Jakobsen and RGS finest Allegra. It is going to be a combination best for the pair.
Fredrik Graham Jakobsen, RGS.
A really beautiful, elegant mare. So light-footed.
Thank you.
Beautifully elastic. But today just had some expensive mistakes. It started beautifully. The half-pass zigzag was so fluent, so nice. Really good through the lines of changes. Just had that really expensive mistake in the first pirouette. Some of the best walk we've seen so far today. It is a 67.692%, and that puts them into 7th place.
7.564 at M, 68.718 at B. It's a total score of 67.692. 7th place so far for the Danish Fredrik Graham Jakobsen.
We're running a little ahead of schedule.
And here is the Australian stallion Valeriusimas by Vitalis and Dacier. Welcome Natalia
Bakaridze Delicourt. She's riding Valerius Yamas for Spain. 11-year-old Westphalian stallion by Vitalis. Natalia competed at many European Championships, started in juniors back in 2016, moved to young riders in 2020. Hasn't been to a European since 2021, so great to have her back here in the under 25. Spent her winter out in Wellington. Actually, pretty much all of her results are from America since 2023. This is only this combination's second international. They competed in Ocala in Florida back in April, had a double win there, won the Grand Prix with 63.949. They finished 17th in the Inter 2 with 68.235%. A nice start. Great energy there in the extended trot. Some nice positioning, good crossing. Just like to see a little bit more suppleness to the bend, especially there to the right. Their personal best, 63.949. So well over that at the moment. To be a little bit clearer there in the rhythm. You really want to see those diagonal pairs. Lovely uphill horse, good there in the medium, clearly over tracking, nice pushing power. Good coming in. Yeah, it just needs to build a little bit more strength in the piaffe to be able to keep the rhythm. Lost a little bit of balance in the transitions, but the passage is good and shows good lift. Nice there in the walk. Again, very clear over track, a good stretch. Lovely here in the frame in the walk. Needs to keep the rhythm a little clearer there in the collective walk. Lovely transition to the canter. This is a combination that will for sure be looking to take a spot in the freestyle. Lovely. Well ridden. Nice changes. Just needs to be a little more uphill. Sometimes gets a bit high behind. Nice. Yeah, a little bit on the large side, but she kept the jump nicely. Was lovely and uphill. So a big mistake there in the beginning, but well recovered, nice and straight for the rest of the changes. Keep the activity. So it's looking like it's going to be a personal best for Natalia. A lovely horse. Natalia Bracazza Deligorot and Valeria Siamas. Riding for Spain. Just needs to develop a little bit more strength in the Piaffe. But some really lovely work, especially through the canter pirouettes. 64.615% and into 17th place for Natalia.
63.974 at C, 63.718 at M, 64.359 at B. Total score 64.615. Natalia Carissa Dangico and Valerios Imas, Spain.
Running a few minutes ahead of time. It's looking like our next rider is coming early. It is Lucy Anouk Baumgartel and Zink First Vienna FRH for Germany. A 10-year-old Hanoverian mare by Vitales. This combination finished in second place, very close behind Rose Oatley, with a personal best score of 72.088% in the Intermediate 2. Another rider that is no stranger to the podium. She has way too many medals to count. She started back in ponies in 2016, then moved on to juniors back in 2021 with Zink Hugo. She was never out of the medals with him. And then moved up to young riders. That was in 2022 at Hartbury. This is her first year though, as an under 25 rider. Competed in Mannheim, finished second in the Grand Prix with 70.359%. It's definitely going to be one looking to pick up a medal today though. Let's just remind ourselves quickly, Rose Oatley out in front at the moment for Germany with 74.897. Martin Luton and Johnny currently in silver medal position with 72.769, and Annabella Pidgley and Gio in bronze medal position with 70.18%. A good start. Some lovely crossing. Could be a little steadier to the contact here in the zigzag. Such a big moving horse. Their personal best 70.359. Lovely activity in the passage. Just a bit of straightness in the piaffe, but some nice steps. Good in the passage, really clear in the rhythm. Nice. Staying in a good frame there. Very fluent in this passage. Yeah, better here in the piaffe. Could have a little bit more lift, but very nicely ridden. Yeah, 7s for the piaffe. Good transitions. Really nice stretch in the walk. Keeping clear in the walk rhythm. See a little bit more shoulder freedom here in the collected walk. Nice jump here in the canter. Keep it coming round. Yeah, really good positioning in the canter pirouette. Could be a little more small, a little bit more centered, but she managed to keep the jump and keep the bend throughout. Beautiful here in the 2-time changes. Lovely and uphill. Very well ridden. Yeah, nice. Really good control. Super. Really nice in those 1-time changes. And a good transition down into the trot, nice and balanced. This horse so lovely and uphill. Has a lovely swing. Oh no, just came back to the walk there into the piaffe. Well recovered. And there we have it for Luciano Baumgartel and Zinks at first at Vienna. FHFRH. And it's looking like it's going to be a personal best for them. But is it going to put them into the medals? It's looking like it might. It's not going to challenge Rose. However, it could challenge Martin. He's currently on 72.769. My goodness, how close is that? 72.718 into third place for Lucy Anouk-Baumgartel. A beautiful ride. Such a shame about that mistake on that final centre line, otherwise she would have definitely been in silver medal position, but it is a bronze medal position at the moment for Lucy Anouk-Baumgartel. A beautiful, harmonious ride. Very fluent, consistent test from the pair.
Here is in her
it is Jasmine Yomtov and Jack Black WW. It is Jasmine Yomtov. It is Ari Yomtov's daughter. Her father owns this wonderful, wonderful stables and competition venue. This is a 12-year-old KWPN stallion by Hofrat. She's been competing in European since 2015. Last year competed in the under-25 Grand Prix with For Joy. Finished 21st in the Grand Prix. Last time she competed this horse, it was here at her home venue. They had a win with 69.539%. Still competes For Joy 37. This is only this combination's third international. Competed in a World Cup qualifier in the Senior Grand Prix, scoring 69.9. They finished 12th in the Intermediate 2 with 69%. Some nice crossing there through the zigzag. Be a little bit more supple to the bend. Nice energy there in the passage. Really well placed in the piaffe. Beautifully ridden. Really fluent transitions. Yeah, everything fluent, super in the rhythm. Their personal best in this test, 70.667. Good relaxation here in the walk, nice mismatching. Would like to see more over track. Keeping the activity well through the collected walk. Lovely. Coming into the pirouette. Keep the jump. Yeah, nicely centered. Really good control. Lovely, and uphill through these 2 time changes. Beautiful, really nice and straight, lovely and fluent. Started a little bit early there. Yeah, again, very well ridden. Keeping the jump in the canter pirouette, staying nice and uphill. Beautifully straight again in those 1 time changes. What a lovely fluent test. Gorgeous transitions, really wonderful activity throughout. It's looking like a combination and personal best for Yasmin Yomtov for Hungary and Jack Black at WW. What a test.
Thank you. Yasmin
Very,
Yomtov,
very
Jack
well
Black.
ridden. Great regularity throughout the test. Everything flowed so beautifully. Highlights for sure in the Piaf Passage. Really gorgeous as well in the canter pirouettes and the tempi changes. It is a 70.82%, and that puts them into 4th place at the moment.
70.769 at M and 70.513 at B. Total score, personal best, 70.82.
A great personal best for Yasmin.
Jack Black, and in the moment, it's the 4th place so far.
Next into the arena. It is a combination for Great Britain. Georgina Nichols and Briarwood Notorious.
Next around the ring is the next
This is
British
an
rider.
11-year-old gelding by
Briarwood's
Negro.
Notorious and Georgina
This
Nichols,
is Georgina's
Great Britain.
first European Championships. Has had a brilliant year. Competed last at Wellington. Finished 2nd there in the Grand Prix with 65.8. Also finished second at Hickstead Back in May was 67.393. This is her first year competing internationally with this horse. They finished 27th in the Intermediate 2 with 66.735%. She got this horse as a young horse and has done all of the work herself. Actually broke her foot just before coming to this championships. Bit of insider knowledge. Georgina Nichols and Briarwood, notorious for Great Britain. Their best score in this Grand Prix is 67.393%. Such a striking horse. We'll keep the rhythm. Lost the rhythm a little bit there in the extension. Lovely positioning there in the half pass. Really clear to the bend. Nice crossing. Good there in the passage. Nice activity here in the Piaffe. Keeping really regular, lovely transitions, well ridden. Keeping the regularity well in the Piaffe passage. Needed to be a little bit more on the spot there, slightly travelling in the Piaffe at D. Taking a good stretch in the extended walk. Correcting the rhythm, both the extension and the collected walk. Just a bit of anticipation here. Well ridden from Georgina. Yeah, it takes risk there through the extension. Now rebalance. Good into the half pass. Lovely preparation. Nice. Yeah, really well centered in the canter pirouette. Super two-time changes. Very well ridden. Lovely, clear and supple to the bend. Keep that jump coming through the canter pirouette. Well prepared again. Ah, what a pity. Just a mistake there at the beginning of the one-time changes, but well corrected. And those ones were lovely and straight. A little bit of resistance there coming into the PF. Keep coming. Yeah. Oh, what a shame. She was so close to her personal best. And then just had that mistake in the ones and then again in that final PF. But other than that, a really, really wonderful performance from Georgina Nichols and Briarwood Notorious for Great Britain. A lovely horse. 64.744%. And into 19th place for Georgina Nichols and Briarwood Notorious.
At C65 and MN63.205 at B. Total score is 64.744 for Georgina Nichols and Briarwood.
A really elegant horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now go into...
So now we go into a short break.
We continue.
The next combination will be coming in at 3:56. So about 20 minutes break. We have
to the horse inspection for the young riders.
9 horses left in this under 25 Grand Prix left.
Upload their music for the sound check.
The score to beat 74.897 of Rose Oatley is currently sitting in gold medal position. Martin Luton and Johnny currently in silver with 72.769, and Luciano Baumgartel and Zinkfirst Vienna currently in third with 72.718. So join us back in around 20 minutes for the rest of this under 25 Grand Prix.
Martin Luiten from the Netherlands, and on third bronze is Luciano Baumgartel from Germany. Our Hungarian rider Yasmin Yomtov on the 4th spot after her famous ride, the 70.82.
bend your back, shift your arm, then you pull it back. Life's hard, you know. So strike a pose on a Cadillac. If you wanna find all the cops, they're hanging out in the donut shop. They sing and dance. They spin the club cruise down the block. All the Japanese look they and the party boys call the Kremlin. And the Chinese know. They walk the line like Egyptian. All the cops in the donut shop say. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian.
So the sea is going to take me, maybe not that fairly far. I tell myself I won't get astray. I believe it's gonna be hard. So I look across the main, pick a point far out of sight. Over me comes the rain, and I'll be gone within a night. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I ain't afraid of leaving, and all those things I left behind. Most of them ain't meant to last. None of them ain't even mine. Too tired of marking time, giving too much away. Not a single dime is left, so I'm calling here today. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us continue with the last group of the U25 riders heading for the U25 individual medals. In the moment, we have Germany.
So the last 9 riders now for this under 25 Grand Prix here at the European Championships for young riders and under 25. This is Maria Vittoria Duranti and Bianca di Fontombetti, a 14-year-old Hanoverian mare by Winton. This combination have competed in several European Championships, starting in 2021 when they were in young riders, as well as in 2023. And then last year was their first year in under 25. They finished 28th in the Grand Prix there. They also compete in Senior Grand Prix. That was their last time out. Their last time in this test, they finished second in St Margathan in the Grand Prix with 68.376%. This combination finished 24th in the Intermediate 2 with a score of 67.412%. A little bit tense there, coming back from a nice extended trot. Lovely and uphill. Yeah, really well managed through the zigzag there. You could see that the mare was just getting a little bit tense at times. Maria just giving her confidence. Keep the regularity there. Some nice steps here in the PF. Could have been a little bit more fluent in the transition in, but nice on the way out to Passage. And again, well managed there. You can see a little spook in that half 10-meter circle in the Passage. Not quite clear there in the rhythm. You can see just a little bit of hesitation. keeping the march there in the extended walk. Could just be a little more relaxed. And see there, again, just losing a bit of attention. Yeah, well managed through the collective walk. Nice positioning through the half pass. Keep the activity. Keep coming. Yeah, better. Better there in the second half. Just backed off a little bit too much at the beginning, but really well recovered. Good riding from Maria. Yeah, good two-time changes. Needed to be a bit more over the back, but they were all clean and clear. She's just having to deal with a bit of tension. As I said, we had a lot of that in the young riders this morning, to the point where one poor rider didn't even make it down the centre line. So not quite sure what's going on with that left side of the arena today, but there is something that these horses are not liking. We didn't really see it in the other days. Yeah, good. Much better control this time. Yeah, again, really clear in the one-time changes. Still a little bit of tension over the back. Could have been a bit softer, but, you know, she's not suddenly going to really relax in the last couple of movements. Much better there in the rhythm. Maria Vittoria Duranti and Bionica di Fontembetti for Italy. Some really nice work in this test. Just too much tension today, keeping in the way of a top score, but a very elegant horse. Really nice and light-footed. 62.59%, putting them into 24th.
Score 63.846 at E62.9.
So moving on now to our next combination, and it is one for France. Ella Lostria and Lionel Richie.
Next in the ring is Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie's a 10-year-old KWPN stallion by Grand Galaxy win. This combination competed together in the Young Riders back in 2024. Finished 24th in the individual. Ella has competed through juniors. Went then to under 25 Grand Prix in 2021 with her previous ride Kremlin. And then 2024 went back to young riders with this horse and back up to under 25 Grand Prix again. Last time out for this combination, they competed in Liège. Finished second there with 68.205%. They finished 25th in the Inter 2 with a score of 66.912. Just needs to make sure that that pole stays up at the highest point. Just creeping a little bit down there behind the vertical. But other than that, the crossing was nice. Nice activity here in the passage. Yeah, good steps there. Just still a little bit too deep in the contact. Need to keep the rhythm there in the medium trot. Yeah, better correction there in the Piaffe. Yeah, much better in the second half of the Piaffe, but still up in the passage here, just coming a little tight. Good relaxation. Really clearing the rhythm in the walk. Better in the frame as well. Some nice steps there in the extended canter. Could have been a little straighter. You could see the quarters going a little bit to the right. Nice there. Now keep the engagement as they come round the canter pirouette. A little bit large starting there, but kept the jump nicely. Clear in the two time changes. Again, could have been a little straighter, but they were well ridden. Again, a little bit large there on the pirouette. Really not listening there in those one-time changes. 1s and a 0.5 from the judges. What a pity. There we have it for Ella Lostria and Lionel Richie. Not their day-to-day in the canter. A really lovely combination, but just needed to be a little bit more in front of her aides, especially in those one-time changes. A very talented horse, though. Nice sitting through the pirouettes, sorry. Just needs to get those a little more centered.
And the scores are in
61.718% for Ella, and that puts her into 26th place. Frame much improved in the canter, was just a little bit short in the trot at the beginning of the test. So now we move on to a rider for Austria. It is Anna Schwarzmüller-Kloffel and first Shamur PS OLD, a 10-year-old Oldenburg stallion by Furstenball. Anna competed back in 2021 in juniors. So this is her second European Championships, first in under-25 Grand Prix. Last time out for this combination, they had a win back in May with 70.282%. This combination finished 23rd in Intermediate 2 with a score of 67.559%. Very impressive horse. Plenty of power through the extension. Lovely reach in the half pass. Clear to the bend. Yeah, really fluent in the changes of bend. Nicely ridden. Keep the suspension. Staying nice in the rhythm. Oh, lost the activity there. Coming out, some walk steps. Lovely. Really nice and uphill through the medium. Really thinking about keeping that engagement through the passage here. You can see that he's really able to sit and take the weight. Just really needs to keep that activity and the balance, especially in those transitions. Just be careful of the rhythm here in the extended walk. Again, here in the collected walk, needs to be a little bit clearer. It's got quite a big walk, and sometimes that can be just as problematic because it's so big. It just gets a little bit lollopy. Is that a word? Kid through the half pass. Nice. Yeah, well centered through the canter pirouette. Could have a little more balance, but well ridden there. Lovely, and uphill through these two-time changes. Lovely, really nice line, beautifully straight. Nice start, keep it, yeah. Just a little bit of the fluency in that second half. Well recovered though, and now into these one-time changes. Yeah, nice. Could have been a little more straight, but really lovely and uphill. Big ground covering changes. Now thinking about the engagement through these transitions. Keep the transition fluent. Better out. A slightly abrupt in, but much better balance coming out this time. And there we have it for Anna Schwarzmüller-Krofel. First Schmür PSOLD for Austria. A lovely expressive stallion. Shows lovely quality. Could just have been a little bit more over the back in the canter. 66.385%. That puts them into 15th place.
67.692 at C, 64.744 at M, 67.436 at B. Total score of 66.385.
Again, running slightly ahead of time. The next combination due in at 4:23.
next starting time is 4:23 in about 4 minutes from now.
She's coming straight in. It is Ellen Hedbies and Sonnen Quignon. This is a 14-year-old Oldenburg mare by Roy Dusolet. Ellen's 4th European Championships. 3rd in the Under-25 Grand Prix. First time was in 2024. And then again last year with this horse. Last year they finished in 44th in the Grand Prix. And last time out finished 5th with a score of 68.803. They finished 28th in the Intermediate 2 with a score of 66.677%. So for Sweden, Ellen Hedbies and Sonnen Quignon. Personal best is 70.769%. Lovely and uphill through this trot extension. Just needs to be sure it doesn't get a little bit quick. Good clear changes of bend. Just be a little bit more supple over the back. Nice lift. Yeah, it could have been a little more fluent in the transitions. Oh, that's a shame. A little bit of tension and a break in the passage there. Some nice steps in the medium. Just needed to lengthen the frame a touch. Again, a bit of tension there in the piaffe. It was slightly in two parts. But good relaxation here in the extended walk. Taking a good stretch. Could have a little more over track for the bigger marks. Just needs to be careful of the rhythm. Slightly pacing. Just with a bit of tension. Nice transition up to the canter. Again, super and uphill there in the extension, nice and straight, and a clear change. So really needs to think about the suppleness now in this canter, trying to get her as relaxed as she can. Nice, good preparation coming in. Yeah, so a little bit spinning. Needed much more bend and suppleness over the back through the canter pirouette. Nice big changes here though in the twos. Lovely and uphill. Ah, mistake right at the end. What a pity. Honestly, I don't know what's going on today because we had barely any spooks on the first 3 days, and today there's been a lot of horses that have been very, very tense in the arena today. So difficult with me not being on site, not really knowing what's causing it, but it seems to be over on this left-hand side of the arena. Good there, coming into the ones, beautifully straight. A little bit late into the trot. Again, some disruption there in the final passage. Ellen Hedby's and Sonnen Cognin for Sweden.
Thank you.
Not the test that they would have hoped for. They would have definitely been one that would have challenged for a spot in the freestyle. Too much tension getting in the way today. A really lovely mare. So much to like, but just lost too many marks today with the tension. 61.154% and into 28th for Ellen Hedby's. This tension's really mixing up the leaderboard.
Total score 61.154 for Ellen Hedby's Sonnenkönigin from Sweden.
Next combination due in 5 minutes' time.
Next combination already preparing for coming over with the starting time 4:32.
Alexander de Helgestrand and Inspiration PF coming into the arena now for Denmark. This is a 13-year-old KWPN gelding by Everdale. A combination that finished third in the Intermediate 2 with a personal best score of 71.912%. One that will definitely be challenging for medals today. Alexander, of course, contributing towards the team silver yesterday. rode this horse last year in the under-25 championships. Finished 8th in the Grand Prix. Last time out in this test was actually the Europeans last year, because they've been concentrating on Senior Grand Prix. So in the Senior Grand Prix, they've been scoring around 68-69%. Had a double win last time out in Aalborg for the 3-star. So to get onto the podium, they need to be scoring over 72.718. That would overtake Lucianouk Baumgartel. And that would require another personal best from Alexander. A lovely start. Such a striking horse. Love a chestnut with lots of white. It just looks so impressive in the arena. They really stand out. Lovely crossing, really super cadence. Nice here in the passage. Keeping really good regularity. Not quite enough steps there in the Piaf. 8 to 10 steps are required. Yeah, better amount of steps. Super fluent and consistent through this trot work. .72718. He needs to beat to get onto the podium at the moment. Could be clearer here in the rhythm. Yeah, that walk's been a little bit expensive for them. Let's see what they can do in the canter. There's a bit of a gap between bronze and 4th place at the moment. Been steadier to the contact there in the half pass. Good preparation, keep the jump. Yeah, nicely uphill, well centered. good changes. Just a bit of nodding in the contact, could be much more steady. Yeah, nice. Again, well centered. Consistently on sevens, a few 7.5s coming in as well. Lovely and straight in these one-time changes. Yeah, lovely and uphill. It's looking like it's going to be a personal best for Alexander, but can he do enough to get into the top three? At the moment, he's sitting just behind, but the scores are creeping up. A lovely final centre line for Alexander de Helgestrand and Inspiration PF for Denmark.
Inspiration PF for Denmark.
A lovely horse, and he looks pretty happy with that. Really consistent throughout the test. Beautifully ridden by Alexander. A lovely supple horse, and he goes into bronze medal position, 72.744%, and into bronze medal position. My goodness, it is so close. So we have Lucy Anouk Baumgartel on 72.718. Alexander in bronze medal position now with 72.744. And then Martin Luton
to go on our starting list
with 72.769. So all on 72.7%. Literally a cat's whisker between them. 4 combinations left to go. Next combination for the Netherlands, it is Mickey Stuttelstreet and Karim, an 11-year-old KWPN by Chemure.
The Netherlands.
This combination finished 15th with a personal best score of 68.441% in the Inter 2. A rider with plenty of experience, started in ponies in 2017, moved up to juniors in 2022, young riders in 24 and 25. This is her first year in under 25. Competed this horse in Exlu in May, finished 7th with 67.393%. A rider that will definitely be looking to pick up qualification to the freestyle. A lovely start. A very, very expressive horse. Just lost a little bit of rhythm there in the extended trot. Lovely and uphill. Clearer there in the rhythm, in the passage. It's getting a little bit flat there in the piaffe. Could have done with a little bit more lift. Nice. Really good there in the passage. Just need to keep the relaxation. Yeah, some better steps there. Still could have been a little bit more over the back, a little bit more relaxed. That would have helped towards getting a bit more lift. Nice there in the walk. Really clear in the rhythm in both the extended and collected walk. Oh, a little spook there. Yeah, just got a little bit tense. Put in an early change. Recovered well though. Still you can see a little bit of tension in the mouth. Yeah, good preparation for the canter pirouette. Nice, keep the jump. Needed a bit more separation of the hind legs there, but nicely centered. Clean 2 time changes. Again, a little bit busy in the mouth. Good, really nice positioning through the half pass. Now needs to focus on keeping the jump behind. Yeah, you can just see is jumping together behind, really well centered, but just needs to keep that activity and separation of the hind legs. Now the ones, lovely and straight. Oh no. Again, it's just coming down into this corner. Could even be the camera, maybe. Lovely there in the passage. Good transition from the collected trot into the passage. Nice lift, a little bit of swinging. Sadly, it looks like that top 18 spot to get through to the freestyle is slipping away from them. It is Mickey Stelstret and Karim for the Netherlands. I really don't know what's going on today.
Thank you.
So many of these combinations really struggling with tension today. It is 65.077 in the Grand Prix. A really, really lovely quality horse with lots of expression and elastic paces. Just again, the tension leading to too many mistakes today.
Total score for Mickey and Karim. Next in the ring is the fourth combination for Germany. As Riccio 7 is an Oldenburgian gelding by Rock Forever and Argentinos, Pia Carlotta Gagel, Germany.
So the final competitor now for Team Germany, with just 3 riders left to go in this under-25 Grand Prix. It is Pia Carlotta Gagel and Rico 7. It's a 16-year-old Oldenburg gelding by Rock Forever. Those combinations last time out, they scored 70.026 for 7th place in Mannheim. A combination finished 6th in the Inter 2 with a personal best score of 70.941%. So one that could definitely challenge for a top spot in this Grand Prix. There you can get a good look at the tent. Doesn't seem like anything particularly scary in there. So, Pia Carlotta Gagel and Rico 7 now for Germany. Nice light-footed horse. Needed a little more balance coming onto the centre line there. Clear crossing. Just needed to keep a bit more cadence through the line. Better here. Nice lift. Nice, really good in the rhythm. Ooh. Slight loss of rhythm going into the medium trot. Again, just needed to be a little bit more fluent in the transition out, back into passage. Really good there in the walk. Clear over tracking. Yeah, fairly nice there through the pirouette. Could just have sat a little bit more. Good changes here, really covering the ground nicely. Lovely and uphill. Very fluent. Now into the one-time changes. The twos were lovely. What can she do in these ones? A little bit of swinging there. Oh, just a missed change at the beginning there, but well recovered. And down the final centre line, Pierre Charlotte Gagel and Rico 7. A lovely performance from this pair. They've definitely done enough to get into the top 18. A consistent test. Started really nicely in the trot. It is a 68.231%, and that is enough to put them into 10th place. Just needed to be a little bit more in front of her aides.
Total score 68.231.
So 68.231 into 10th. To combinations left. One for Denmark, one for France.
And here's our penultimate competitor with Ramona Dutch bred mare by
Alexandre Serret and Bamona, a 20-year-old KWPM mare by United. This combination have been together for a long time, came up through young riders, started at under 25 Grand Prix back in 2023. Last year, they finished 29th in the Grand Prix. Last time out was in Liège. They scored 66.282%. Finished 22nd in the Intermediate 2, 67.618%. A personal best 67.641. If they were to score that, they would definitely get into the top 18. At the moment, it is Melinoven and Dream Dancer in 18th place with 66.128. Some nice crossing here, really clear in the bend. Could just do with a little more cadence through the half pass. Nice. Good there in the passage. Losing a little bit of the straightness in the piaffe. Yeah, good in the medium. Some really nice steps. Clear transition back into the passage. Keeping in rhythm. Yeah, it needs a little bit more lift in the piaffe there. You can see him trying to wiggle out of being straight. Alexander doing a really good job with his riding there, keeping him as straight as possible. And into the extended walk, really nicely relaxed, taking a lovely stretch. Staying true to the rhythm. Yeah, nice. Well ridden through the walk. Could have been a little braver through the extended canter. It was nice, you could clearly see a difference. But I feel like there's more in the tank there. Keep the jump. Really good control there through the pirouette. Keep the straightness into the changes. Nice and uphill through the twos. Yeah, all clean. Just not quite straight going into the twos. But really good changes. And now into the half pass. Lovely bend. Really nice and supple. First pirouette was nice. Kept the jump well. Good control. Really clear bending. Just needed a little more balance, especially in the second half of the pirouette. But really well centered again, and now coming into the ones. A little bit of swinging, but looking really secure through those changes. Their personal best 67.641, so they are above that right now. Let's hope they can keep that down the final centre line, and that would definitely be enough to qualify them through to the freestyle. Just lost a little bit of rhythm into the piaffe. Yeah, well done. And there we have it for Alexandre Charret and Bamona. A personal best score it's going to be for them today. A really lovely light-footed horse. Very consistent test. Nice fluency with many highlights. Sometimes lost a little bit of straightness. It is into 10th for Alexandre with 68.333%, a personal best score for them.
67.564 at M, 68.077 and 68.333 at B. 68.333 is the total score. Alexandre Bamona on 10th place now.
One competitor left to go in this under 25 Grand Prix before we decide on the medals. So we have medals confirmed now for Rose Oatley and Alive and Kicking, and Martin Luton and Johnny. It is currently teammates Alexander Helgestrand in bronze medal position. Can he keep that medal, or is his teammate Laura Galvis Ramussen and 17 JR going to push him out? This is a 12-year-old Danish warm-blood gelding by Szechuan.
Here's our final competitor, 17 JR, Laura Galvis Rasmussen, Denmark.
Partnership finished 14th in the Intermediate 2 with a personal best score of 68.617. Last time out they finished second in the Grand Prix with 68.410. So another 68.4 would put them into the top 18, which would then qualify them through for the freestyle. Nice through the extension. Really good through the frame. Very tall, elegant horse. Really fluent through the half passes. Nice crossing. Lovely bend. their hind legs a little more under, but clear in the rhythm. Nice transition into the PF. Keep the activity. Yeah. It's just a little bit slow to the rhythm. Had a couple of double beats. Lovely and uphill there. So keep an eye now on the regularity in the passage. Better coming in. Yeah. Not quite enough steps there in the PF, but better transitions. Yeah, could just have a bit more relaxation in the walk there. You can see he's having a little look, bit of tension as she picks up the rein. Lovely and uphill in the extended canter. That walk has been extremely costly. Nice and uphill again there through the half pass. Keep the jump. Yeah, a little bit large there. Could have kept a bit more activity. Beautifully uphill through this canter work. Super two-time changes, yeah. Really, really fluent. Beautifully uphill, scores coming in 7.5. Time. Again, beautifully uphill in the ones. Really nice and fluent. Nicely on the spot, much clearer in the rhythm. Really good PF there. And there we have it, our final rider in this under-25 Grand Prix, Lara Carves Rasmussen and 17 JR. Have they done enough to get through to the freestyle? Have to wait and see. A very powerful horse. It is a 66.667 and into 17th place for Laura and 17 JR, and that means that the top three remain the same. Rose Oatley and Alive and Kicking are our new under-25 Grand Prix gold medalists with a whopping 74.897. Martin Luton, they were third to go yesterday and they stayed at the top for such a long time. But they finish in silver with 72.769, and Alexander de Helgestrand and Inspiration PF finish in bronze medal position with 72.744. You can see there between Martin and Lucy in fourth, so close. What a fabulous class it's been. So as I said earlier, today didn't just decide who was picking up those individual medals. It also decided who was going through to the freestyle tomorrow. So the top 18 competitors from the young rider and from this under 25 class will go forward to the freestyle. That is happening tomorrow. The young rider freestyle starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the under 25 Grand Prix freestyle will commence at 11:15. So the top 3 riders from each country can qualify through. So in some instances, when you have such a strong country like Germany or the Netherlands, not all the riders qualify through for the freestyle. So we wait now as we prepare for our prize giving in this under 25 Grand Prix. You can see the podium being brought out. So please stay with us to celebrate our top 8 riders in this under 25 Grand Prix.
Southbound again. Don't know if I'm gonna leaving home. Southbound again. Don't know if I'm gonna leave it home. Boys about to moving. Seem like the boys bound room. So every single time, roll across rolling river time. Every single time, roll across rolling river time. Look at the same old feeling every time I'm moving down the line. She ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly. Every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies. A dream of so lying underneath those stormy skies. She said, oh, I know the sun was set to rise. This could be
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we would like to take the opportunity to thank all the judges, officials, professionals, and of course, and especially, our volunteers involved in the competition on behalf of the organizing committee and of the FEI. We thank them for their ongoing commitment to equestrian sport.
It's everywhere I look, from Las Vegas to right here, under your dresses, right by your ear. It's creeping in sweetly, it's definitely here. There's nothing more deadly than a slow-growing fear. Life was full and fruitful and you could take a real bite. The juice pouring well over your skin's delight. But the shadow it grows and takes the depth away, leaving broken down pieces to this priceless ballet. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it fainter we go into the deeper down. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with weather in front. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. Heading deep down, we're sliding without noticing our own decline. Heading deep down, we're hanging on to sweet nothings left behind. Deeper down. Deeper down. Deeper down. Deeper down. Down, deeper down. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with weather in front. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with weather in front. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us celebrate the placed riders of the U25 Individual Championships from 8 to 4.
So we bring forward now in this prize giving for under 25 Grand Prix individual our riders from 8th to 4th place
On the 8th place.
In 8th, it is Tessa Cole and Hexagon's King Robert with a score of 68.487% for the Netherlands.
On 7th
In
place,
7th, it is Milena Sofia
and
Souza
Milena
and
Sofia
Roxander
Souza,
for Switzerland with a personal best score of 70.103%.
On the 6th place.
In 6th, it
Gio
is
and
Great
Annabella
Britain's
Pidgey.
Annabella Pidgey
Great
and
Britain.
Gio with a score of 70.18%. And in 5th, with a
And
personal
on
best
the 5th
score of
place,
70.82, it is Hungary's Jasmine Yomtov.
Hungary.
And in 4th, with another personal best
And on
of
the fourth
72.718,
place, we see
it is
6th
Lucy Anouk
first
Baumgartel
Vienna
and Zinc
SH
first
FRH.
Vienna
Lucy
VH,
Anouk
sorry,
Baumgartel, Germany.
SH FRH for Germany. So in the top 8, well actually in the top 10, we have 7 that have scored either personal bests or combination best scores, which is pretty amazing in this class. We now wait for our top 3 medalists to come forward to be presented with their medals.
Now,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the medalists for the European Dressage
Waiting for
Championships
our bronze
U25
medalist. There he
individual
is.
title 2026.
So leading them in, silver medalist Martin Luton and Johnny, followed by gold medalist Rose Oatley and Alive and Kicking. And finally, Alexander de Halgerstrand and Inspiration PF for Denmark. What a lineup. So the riders and horses take their spots behind their podium position. Martin was in our first group of riders to go yesterday afternoon, and he maintained his podium spot right
please
from
unmount
the
and
beginning.
stand behind your respective podiums.
So the riders dismount now and stand behind their spots on the podium.
The presentations are made by Mr. Ari Yomtov, the head of our organizing
So Ari
committee,
Yomtov
and
making the
accompanied by
presentations.
Mrs. Elisabeth Max-Teurer from Austria, representing our grand jury. Third and winner of the
So
bronze medal.
in
With his
bronze medal
Inspiration
position,
PF,
it is Alexander de Helgestrand
representing
and
Denmark.
Inspiration PF
Congratulations.
for Denmark with a personal best score of 72.744%.
Medals are presented by Mrs. Elisabeth Max-Teurer on behalf
Elizabeth
of the Grand Prix
Max-Teurer
and the FEI, and the bouquets and the wishes
presenting
from
the
our
medals, and
organizer,
Ari
from
Omtov
Mr. Ari Yomtov.
presenting the bouquets and presents.
Second, and
In
winner of the
second,
silver
with a
medal
score of
with his horse
72.769% with a
Johnny,
combination
representing the
best.
Netherlands.
It is
Congratulations.
Martin Luton and Johnny for the Netherlands. And finally,
also the bouquets
with
and
a
the
personal best score of
wishes.
74.897%.
First
And picking
winner of
up the gold
and
medal,
European champion,
riding Alive and
U25
Kicking, our
individual
new
with Alive and
European
Kicking,
champion.
Rose Oatley,
It is Rose
representing
Oatley
Germany.
for
Congratulations.
Germany. A huge achievement, especially after only getting the ride on Audrey or Alive and Kicking just a few months ago. Huge congratulations to all of our riders, but especially to these top 3.
Ladies
What a
and
day it's been.
gentlemen,
Make sure you join us back
European
tomorrow
champion,
morning at 8 o'clock.
U25
It is the day of the
individual.
freestyles. It's been an honour to
Let
watch
us
along with
stand
you
up
today.
and
Congratulations
pay
to our
attention the
riders, but that's it
international
from me,
anthem of
Natasha
the gold
Baker.
medal winner,
Enjoy the rest of
from
your
Germany.
evening.
And now I want to hear the noise of celebrating the medalists of the European Dressage Championships U25 individual. And now, of course, for the pictures for the history books. And as all pictures are taken, we would like to ask the riders to go back to the left horses, mount. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us have the chance to celebrate our medal winners at their well-owed lap of honor, led by Alive and Kicking and Rose Oatley. Rose Oatley, Martin Leuten, Alexander Ide Helgstrand. And here they come again. So wow, all medals for individual championships are given now. What's missing? Medals for tomorrow. For the freestyles, we are now heading up to the horse inspections for all qualified horses of the freestyles young riders, and U25 then followed up by the sound checks. The draw will be then at 8, and then we will have the starting order for tomorrow. And now go to celebrate your medal winners.
Guess it's true, I'm not good at a one-night stand. But I still need love, cause I'm just a man. These nights never seem to go to plan. I don't want you to leave, will you hold my hand? Oh, won't you stay?